that you're going to be working on, from the 747s all the way down to the 767s, to the DC-9, to the Airbuses. Every aircraft has an emergency evacuation slide in the doors and also in over the wings. So when the aircraft is on the ground, or you've seen a situation where it happened with the U.S. Air in the Hudson River, emergency arose, they opened the doors and the slides deploy. Okay? It's the same premise here. Now, with that being said, we have to make sure that we do not go through and accidentally open the door when the slide is in arm position, because when that flight leaves, pushes away from the gate, the flight attendants arm the doors. By mean arm the doors, they push the lever from a disarm position to the arm position. And upon arrival to their destination, they disarm the door, meaning when the door is open from the inside, the slide will not engage and deploy. Now, there are situations at times that someone might forget, someone might accidentally engage the slide while the aircraft's been on the ground for X amount of hours. So people assume, employees assume, it could be our employees, it could be other employees, that the aircraft door is disarmed and the slide will not deploy. Well, unfortunately, when that happens, when you start assuming things, bad things happen. So that's what we have in Monitoring Challenge. It takes two. I always work as a team. It takes two employees trained and identified by a red badge or a black badge to ensure that they will disarm that door, or the door is disarmed. Just envision, if that slide is deployed, if you all have seen, for example, on TV or in videos, airbags, how they deploy, how fast they deploy, and the force behind it. It's the same situation here. That slide, when it's deployed, it deploys in a matter of seconds, because it's time critical for those passengers, in case of emergency, to evacuate that aircraft. So when that slide is deployed, it could be sitting at the gate, it could be at the hangars. And if someone is below and that slide is deployed, you're talking about a tremendous amount of weight that is falling while it's deploying, and it could injure that individual below or possibly even incur death. So it's a dangerous environment that we all collectively work at, but also as relative to the process and how the slide is deployed and the consequences of deploying that slide when there's not an emergency are tremendous. It takes $25,000 to repack that slide and put it back on that aircraft. It could go up as high as $50,000. When you have to, the aircraft is grounded, a new slide has to be put in that door, depending on the size of the aircraft. Is the slide in the station? The passengers have to be rebooked. The flight attendants, the pilots, they're missing their destination, their connections. Not to mention the passengers. They're traveling probably all over the world. Now the airline is responsible for rebooking those passengers. For every minute that aircraft is out of service, or every hour it's out of service, it's costing the airline millions of dollars. So just envision, $25,000, $50,000, how quickly that money goes. But mostly, the consequences of someone getting hurt, and heaven forbid, someone getting injured to a point where it's going to cost their life. So anyone have any questions so far about the slides? They're deployed at the doors. Depending on the type of aircraft it is, the 747 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 6. There's even a door up there, which I never use. But these doors here, there's 5 doors. 5 on the left side, 5 on the right side. The smaller the aircraft, the less amount of doors. There would be no reason for you to open a door from the inside. Okay. Yes, sir?
What happens if the doors are ajar and I open it? Will the slide deploy?
If the door is already cracked open?
Yes.
Okay. If it's already cracked open, that means it's already it's been disengaged. Because if it's open even a little bit, that someone's already opened that door and it's good to go. If in doubt, if ever in doubt, okay, always ask your lead or your supervisor, or there's a mechanic, ask a mechanic. If you're unsure, don't push that door open. Ask. If someone asks you to open the door and you're not trained to open the door, okay, refuse to do it. Don't lose your job over the process because you want to help a friend out. Everyone knows what the process and procedure is about opening doors. It takes two. Okay? Please remember, do not open the doors unless you've been trained. Okay? Yes?
Okay, if the door's already open, like you were saying, so we have the right to open the door all the way. We don't have to have two people then.
That's correct.
Okay, just making sure.
But ensure, if ever in doubt, because sometimes the door will be open, but if it's in the locked position and it's not cracked open, do not open the door. But I don't want to diminish the aspect of uncertainty. If you're not then ask.
Now, can the door be opened or armed?
Not if it's cracked open, no. It has to be fully closed and a lever in the arm position. And when you get to a point where you're going to be trained to be a monitor and a challenger, you will see as to how the mechanics work with it. When it's in disarm position, there's a pin that goes in there with a red flag on there. It'll show disarm. So we have a process in place, a training process, that if you do become a monitor and a challenger, you will see the videos of each type of aircraft that you have exposure to as respect to the carrier that you're going to be working for. And also you will do the hands-on to make sure that you're proficient and you know exactly what needs to be done and how it operates. You know the difference between a DC-9, how that setup is, and a setup on an Airbus, an A330 or A320, and a 747, how the doors open. All that information will be given to you once you're trained. Training is critical. You work in a dangerous environment. Environment is you're going to be working in. There's a lot of activity going on, a lot of personnel, a lot of equipment. You always be aware of your surroundings. Never assume that it's okay. If in doubt, ask. Okay. Any other questions? There's no reason for you, let's just open the door on a DC-9 from the outside. To open a door from the outside, if you're a driver, you will be trained to know what to look for and how to open a door from the outside. Because the door, if it's open from the outside, it does disengage the arming mechanism.
Like
Except for
aircraft?
not all the aircraft, and you'll be shown which ones do not fall into that category. That's why we have an intensive training program. You'll be on that aircraft, you'll see the video, you'll be with a trainer to making sure that there's full understanding. And any questions that an employee might have before we actually let them go on their own, as relative to being a driver and open the door from the outside.
Who gets trained?
Who gets trained?
Yeah. Anybody or?
Well, the individuals that are going to be operating the trucks. The leads get trained, the supervisors get trained, the managers get trained. It really is discretion of the manager who they feel should be trained in that capacity. It doesn't necessarily mean, as a monitor and challenger, that you're going to be, if you're a cabin service cleaner and not a lead or a supervisor, doesn't mean you're not able to perform this function. You just have to go through a training process. And quarterly, we will go through a recertification every 3 months. Every employee, depending on their status, monitor and challenger or non-monitor and challenger. We'll go through and review the processes once again with you. Aside from the daily briefings that you're going to receive. You're going to receive briefings, you're probably going to get tired of hearing this. You're probably going to say, not again, the same stuff over and over. Well, it's very, very important. The consequences are tremendous. To yourself, to your coworkers, to us as a company, and to the airline that we're working for. Always use caution. Focus on safety. Safety is number one here. Okay. You are important to us. You're important to your families. Focus on safety. Okay. You always have the right to say no when you feel that something is unsafe. As relative to this, if the GM tells you, or the CEO of the company tells you, or lead tells you, hey, open that door, and you know it takes two, and you're not certified to do that, you say no. Say no.
Well, what if the challenger opens the door when the monitor didn't give the okay?
Then obviously the individual who, the monitor, if the operator opens the door without approval, then the monitor, the door opener is culpable for his or her actions. We're trusting you to follow the training protocol that's been established here. We're not asking you to run independently. It takes two, because there is a marriage. Okay? It takes two. Relying on one another to make sure that we're all working safely.
Anytime.
Well, let me give you the paperwork first.
Well,
No. Just go back again.
that's my termination page.
He already knows he's
You
can.
don't know it, you can't yet. All right, let's come on. Okay, walk away. Get out of here. Let me shake your hand. You want to redo it? Redo it. Don't shake your. Don't put your hand out. Here.
What you're saying, good.
You just said it's a congratulatory
No,
thing. It's
stand
not.
up.
Okay.
Stand
Just come
up.
on towards me. Okay. Give you your badge. Okay. Now you can walk away. There you go. Good riddance. Okay.
Yeah. Can you go out one more time? I wasn't rolling yet.
It
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
rolling yet.
Okay, anytime now. Okay, great.
Okay.
And we'll just let it roll and have our next victim get fired.
Carlene, got your badge ready? All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm rolling. Are you, Paul?
Put it in your pocket, put it in your pocket. There you go. Okay, ready? Need your bag. Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, I'm good. Next one. Need to fire somebody else.
All right, next.
Trade you. All righty. Good to go? Okay. Don't show me the badge yet. All right.
Nice job. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Next,
Fire somebody.
volunteer.
Almost like teachers in Dallas. We're just firing people constantly. Okay. Anytime. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Didn't think I had this much fun, did you?
That's okay.
What do you mean it's
Better than
okay?
sitting at home, I guess.
See?
I know. I hate my home.
He's dead right now.
Okay. Some on this side too.
How'd you do?
Far. But I think,
Yeah, and they're dark, but that one showed pretty good. It showed the impact at night.
oh, good.
Yeah,
Well, saying like I said, you know, we haven't recorded one today.
and you can do, at least you got the video. You can do different things with it.
Yeah.
That,
Well, and it can chop out.
I think she's going to go down.
Not do that on the concrete floor. Ashy. Crazy.
well, they're all open, huh?
Yeah.
They did everything.
Yeah. Just to run this test.
Your tax dollars at work.
Well, it's a good training exercise for all and everyone.
It is. It is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, take a look. So, we're in good shape. I got an hour tape, nothing to do except roll.